fake domain names. The Indian news agency ANI repackaged and amplified the malicious content produced in Brussels and Geneva. The government of Pakistan views these mischievous activities of launching unsubstantiated propaganda as part of India's preoccupation with maligning Pakistan. Pakistan has already put forth irrefutable evidence extensively documenting India's active planning, promoting, aiding, abetting, financing, and executing terrorist activities inside Pakistan. Publication of the recent report by EU Disinfolab only substantiates Pakistan's position in front of the international community. The government of India is urged to eschew the use of false propaganda as an instrument of state policy against Pakistan. Such Indian ploys of spreading misinformation are doomed to fail. By spreading such falsehoods, India can neither cast a shadow on the international stature of Pakistan nor can divert the attention of the international community from India's horrendous human rights record. Instead of wasting more time in peddling falsehoods and fake news, India would be well advised to put its house in order and take care of its own issues of poverty, grave human rights violations, exploitation of minority rights, and rising radicalism. The expose on Indian disinformation campaign by EU Disinfolab requires global attention. We believe that India's subversive activities against Pakistan have been ignored for far too long. Separately, Pakistan strongly condemns the arrests of Muslim youth in India under the newly promulgated discriminatory and inhuman law which penalizes members of the religious minorities to marry as per their own free will. This law is further manifestation of the mindset of Hindu supremacist RSS BJP regime, which takes pride in degrading and humiliating minorities, particularly Muslims in India, and relegating them to second-class citizens. Pakistan calls upon the international community to take note of such steps by the RSS BJP regime, which are fueled by its hatred of minority communities in India. Rather than giving in to the fantasy-driven love jihad allegations of its fanatic cadres, the current regime should ensure protection of fundamental human rights of all its citizens, irrespective of their religious affiliations. As you are aware, 8th December marked the 36th SAARC Charter Day. In his message on the occasion, Prime Minister Imran Khan underscored that SAARC symbolizes the hope that the challenges faced by the region can be overcome through regional cooperation. The Prime Minister stressed that the global pandemic is a grim reminder that we need to work together and cooperate on issues of common interest more than ever before. The Prime Minister reiterated that it is only through adhering to the principles of sovereign equality and mutual respect among member states that we would be able to utilize the true potential of SAARC and achieve our cherished goal of a prosperous and developed South Asia. Pakistan, being a founding member of SAARC, attaches great importance to the organization's success and reaffirms its commitment to the objectives and purposes of its charter. The United Nations General Assembly has adopted a resolution co-sponsored by Pakistan and the Philippines on the promotion of inter-religious and intercultural dialogue by an overwhelming majority. This resolution is part of Pakistan's global efforts to promote interfaith harmony, tolerance, respect for each other's religion and values, and peaceful coexistence. The resolution welcomes the Kartarpur initiative by Pakistan, referring to it as a landmark initiative for inter-religious and intercultural cooperation for peace. Due to the efforts of Pakistan, the resolution for the first time acknowledges the significance and respect for religious symbols. In the wake of the growing religious intolerance and racism, especially Islamophobia around the world, this resolution is important for mainstreaming these contemporary challenges and taking the necessary steps to curb such trends. With regard to the recent developments in the Gulf region, Pakistan welcomes the progress towards resolution of the rift in the Gulf region and appreciates Kuwait's sincere efforts for helping in promoting reconciliation among countries in the dispute. Pakistan hopes that enhanced confidence and understanding among these countries will foster durable peace and prosperity in the region. Now coming to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Kashmiris are continuously subjected to a brutal military siege and inhuman restrictions for 493 days since India's illegal and unilateral actions of 5th August 2019. In brazen manifestation of state terrorism, the Indian occupation forces yesterday martyred 3 more Kashmiri youth in Pulwama district of IIOJK. It is documented that 95,728 innocent Kashmiris have been extrajudicially killed by the Indian occupation forces in fake encounters and staged cordon and search operations since January 1989. 7,155 of these innocent Kashmiris have been killed during illegal custody. During the same period, 161,163 civilians were arrested, 110,376 houses and structures were destroyed, and 11,231 women were molested by the Indian occupation troops. The killing of innocent Kashmiris is part of the Hindutva agenda of the RSS BJP combined, which is attempting to target defenseless Kashmiris with mindless violence and perpetrating collective punishment to break the will of the Kashmiri people. Afraid of the struggle of Kashmiri people for their inalienable right to self-determination, a right enshrined in international law and numerous United Nations Security Council resolutions, the BJP government is desperately trying to malign the indigenous Kashmiri freedom movement. Having failed to subjugate the Kashmiri people despite unabated extrajudicial killings, custodial tortures, burning and looting of Kashmiri houses, and perpetration of worst human rights violations, the Indian deep state has now started peddling fake news alleging transfer of foreign fighters to IIOJK. The completely baseless allegations and fabrications of so-called foreign fighters from Syria serve only to further illustrate the virulent anti-Pakistan tirade that is the hallmark of RSS BJP dispensation. Pakistan calls upon the international community, including the United Nations, human rights organizations, and the global media, to hold India accountable for its crimes against the Kashmiri people. The world community must also work for peaceful resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the relevant UNSC resolutions and the wishes of the Kashmiri people for durable peace and stability in South Asia. With this, I thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to take any questions on these or other foreign policy related developments.
इस्लामाबाद के ये मनाजर आप देख रहे हैं जहां तर्जुमान दफ्तर ख़ारजा जाहिद हफीज़ चौधरी मीडिया ब्रीफिंग कर रहे थे और तर्जुमान दफ्तर ख़ारजा जाहिद हफीज़ चौधरी मुल्क में होने वाले दीगर मामलात के ऊपर बातचीत कर रहे थे और उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि